Hey folks, AJ the CEO here, and obviously I am still out here in my hotel in Florida, but I just had a lot of stuff that I wanted to talk about that's kind of bopped in my head, and I actually recently did a post on YouTube as well as on Facebook because I really wanted to talk about this, and this is going to lead into our Zoom bi-weekly roundtable that we're going to have tomorrow, which you can join by going to our Facebook group. Go to Facebook and look up Modern Media Ministry Made Easy, and you'll get all the information, and it's going to start at 7 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. So I've been seeing a lot of people on our Facebook group and other ministries. They're shutting down their media ministry. They are cutting back. They're pushing and saying that we need to hurry up and just get back to the building, and just shutting down all of the progress from their media ministry because they just want to hurry up and get back to the way it used to be. Y'all already know my opinion on that. And I don't really have a lot of scripture on the top of my head to reference this, but I just want to give some talking points and things to think about. You know, I'm more like this. You can choose whatever you want to do. Again, I'm not going to try to bash anybody or anything like that, but I just really want to have you think about some stuff, just almost kind of like the children of Israel when they were delivered. They were used to how everything was in Egypt, and when things were different, they started murmuring, and I'm paraphrasing it, but almost thinking like, man, we out here in the desert. We ain't got nothing to eat. We ain't got nothing to drink. At least we had this back in the day. So I guess my thought is like this. How do you measure the success of your media ministry? And I think the issue is that people are looking at data points that are not a direct correlation to the success of your media ministry. Again, I'm constantly reminded of AJ. Just realize, you know all this technology, and a lot of people, the older saints, other people in general who are not tech savvy, don't understand this stuff. I get that, but I need y'all to remember that as well too. So for those people that, let me say that point. A mental note, say that point. What I want y'all to remember is, if you know that people are not tech savvy, how do you know if you're looking at your viewers, if you're looking at the comments, if you're looking at the likes, if you're looking at the subscribes, if you're looking at all that, if you know people are not tech savvy, how do you not realize that maybe those people aren't engaging that? I mean, I'm looking at my channel right now, and out of all of the videos that I do, 63.6% are not subscribed. So if I was only looking at that, I would think, man, I must not be doing something right, not realizing that maybe in your ministry, the people who are benefiting from your media ministry don't understand the concept of subscribing, liking, following, doing whatever. So when you look at those numbers, that's not a direct measurement on the success of your media ministry. And if you're shutting down your media ministry because you're not at 100 or 1,000 viewers every Sunday and you consider that a failure, I really want to encourage you that that's not, I don't think that's really accurate to shut down everything because of that data point. I think from a standpoint of, well, my belief is this: even if you only had one subscriber or one person viewing and they're hearing the message, is that worth it? Do you want to shut it down if that one person that might be in some country that they have to hide in a basement because they may be executed because of them listening to this belief, is it worth it? We always talk about like, oh, Jesus died on the cross just to save one sinner. I mean, what would it be like? Oh, God came to Jesus like, oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute, Jesus, I need you to come down because based on the data points, you're only going to be saving one person, so you might as well come on down. And I know that sounds silly, but we need to think about that. How are we going to shut down this because it doesn't match this fictitious measurement in our head on success when we don't know the impact of what we're doing? But then also, from a standpoint from Facebook, YouTube, whatever, these platforms are in place and people are not just watching your video while you're doing it live. They're watching it an hour later, a day later, a week later, a month later, a year later. How are you going to shut this down thinking it's not successful when you don't realize the person that needs to watch it is going to be 2 years from now? I use my channel, for example. My most popular video is how to live stream church services. When I did that, only 100 people watched it. And that video did not take off until COVID hit. What if I had quit and I took everything down, not realizing that, immediately people didn't watch everything? That, again, we need to realize that what our media ministry is doing when we're sharing the message, our responsibility is to share the message. At no point in time in the Great Commission does it say that we go to the highways and hedges and we only do it when we have an 80% success rate of people come back. No, our mission is to take the message and share it. It doesn't say nothing about the end result of the turnaround of the success rate of us doing that. Because you got to think, if that was the mindset, hey, let's be real. There was a whole lot of ministries would be shut down if that's how we were measuring everything. I just want y'all to really think about that. And then the other point that I told myself I was going to make a mental note about this, and I want to be careful how I say this because I don't want to come off angry when I say this. I think it is I think it's very foolish for a board in your church that knows nothing about this technology to be the decision makers on whether this stuff needs to be in place or not. Again, I know computers. How foolish would it be for me to be with a bunch of other programmers? That's all we know. And we decide if we need to shut down the cardiac wing in the hospital because we don't think it's effective based on our limited knowledge. If you have a bunch of people who have no knowledge of social media, the impact and the far-reaching scope of what your media ministry can do, social media, online, everything like that, how can y'all vote to shut down a ministry when you have no idea what it takes in its functionality? That's what I really think. I mean, for me, just being real candid, when I hear stuff like that, it makes me think that you really didn't want a media ministry in the first place and you're looking for a convenient excuse to shut it down. I might be wrong, but again, how do you shut down a ministry when the whole point of the ministry is to minister to other people? You're not looking for data points. Now, it'd be one thing if you're blowing cash, but again, are you blowing cash or are you using it as an investment? At what point do you say, let me stop putting money into this, even if we're ministering to people? Because are we trying to minister to people or are we trying to run a business? Which one is it? So I don't know. Let me know down below. I don't know all the answers, but it's just one thing that's, as I hear more with the tech that we're doing, some people are taking it to an extreme, and it's not always a good extreme. Some people are taking it to the extreme saying, if we don't have 10,000 subscribers after live streaming for 5 minutes, we need to shut it down. Or we have other people that's taking it too far to where they're forgetting that it's ministry and we just want to be, the king of the castle and have everybody looking at us when it's not about us. It's about the message and it's about the ministry. Or people are just taking two things that have nothing to do with each other and using that as a basis on if we should shut something down. Again, we don't know the far-reaching implications of what your local ministry and the content that you're putting out on these social media platforms, how it's going to affect people. It can affect people now, 5 minutes later, hour later, days, weeks, months, years later. So to look at 24 hours to see if it's successful is not a good representation, and we should not base a decision on if we need to shut down this ministry for effectiveness, not realizing that this is a long-term thing. There's a video still on our original YouTube channel, which was the male chorus singing "We Are Soldiers in the Army." That video that was done 11 years ago, 12 years ago now, has more watch time and has impacted more people than the amount of people who have come to our ministry in that 12 years. So do we shut down our church because we don't have that many people are not coming in? Do we still just have the same 30 people that are coming in every Sunday? Do you shut it down because you don't have 100 people coming in every week? So why would you, but if it's reaching people, you keep going. How is that any different from the ministry if you're using online, social media, anything like that? I just really think we need to be careful of what we're using as a basis to justify whether we need to stop any form of ministry when we really don't understand the impact of how many people is really reaching. I'm looking at analytics. I'm looking at all this in my channel, and I don't know how beneficial what I'm doing. I mean, I feel that what I am is doing is beneficial, but I don't, again, 63.6% people are not subscribed. I don't stop my ministry because I'm not at 100%. My ministry for me is to share, and then, it's available for whoever is needed at the time. And I think we need to realize from our media ministry standpoint how we're rating the success. Looking at data points, comments, likes, views, yeah, that's all well and good, but that's really never going to give you the full impact on how effective your ministry is. You just don't know. One person who's watching your video might go have their life changed, and then they start another ministry and they never come back to your channel, anything again. But because of what they gleaned from your ministry and how it changed their heart, they were able to lead millions to hear the message of Jesus Christ. You don't know that. So just looking at some data like subscribes, views, all this other stuff is not the end all to be all to know if what you're doing is successful. So just be mindful of that. You just don't know how many people your ministry is benefiting. I say that again, it's not my responsibility to reach everybody. It is our responsibility, and your unique message is meant to reach a certain amount of people that I could never reach. So you shutting your stuff down, how do you not know that there's some people that you're meant to reach? And just like the parable of the talents, we choose not to use our talent and we decide to bury it in the ground and we do nothing with it at all. And we already know the result, what happens when the master comes back and says that what you haven't used with your talent. So I'll leave that out there. Again, I don't know everything, folks. Maybe this made you think. Maybe I could be completely wrong. I don't know. I don't know all the answers, but let me know down below. What are your thoughts about this? Is looking just at the views, subscribers, comments, engagement, emails, is that the only measurement to know how successful your media ministry is? Let me know down below. What do you think? Well, how do you gauge if what you're doing is successful? Or do you consider it just a ministry and you don't look for any data marks at all and you just share? Let me know down below, folks. If you like this type of content, I appreciate a like. Consider subscribing. Hit that bell. That way you get notified when we come out with other videos to help modernize your media ministry. Thanks for watching, folks. This is AJ. We'll catch you on the next video. Later.